Hi everybody, good morning and welcome to EduTap and also welcome to the government scheme session that are currently going on for all the examination which you're preparing for. So Krishna is asking me, is this session is important for RBI Grade B 2024 also? Yes Krishna, why so? Because agriculture, it is part of this particular agriculture topic, it is part of your ESI syllabus as well, alright. So that is why even if you're preparing for RBI, all the schemes that comes under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare are equally important. Okay, I hope this answers your query. So we are going to start this scheme. One of you has asked me to make a video on this, and of course the scheme is important under the Ministry of Agriculture, and that is why we are going to do so. But before starting, here's an announcement for all the aspirants who are preparing for central regulatory bodies. We have come up with one-stop solution guide to all the queries that you must be having regarding the organization you would want to join. For example, if you want to know more about RBI, NABARD, SEBI, you can get all the information here along with the hierarchy. What are their role in India's economy? What will be your role once you join the organization? How many promotions are there in the organization and what not? After that, you would want to know about the examination process, right? How many phases are there, what is the pattern of each phase, and of how many marks does it is, and its weightage in the final merit list, and all the things including the syllabus and some steps that you can follow for your self preparation. So you can download these e-guidebooks, which I want to highlight are free of cost from the link that is present in the description box below. All right, now let's start off with this particular scheme, which is National Agriculture Market. Okay, and it has a tagline which says Uttam Fasal, Uttam Inam. Okay, we'll talk about this tagline later on. First, we have to understand that what is this National Agriculture Market all about. Okay, so this you can understand agriculture market, but at the national level. What does it mean? Dekho, currently, now we can't say currently, of course, when now the scheme has been launched, but you can say before the scheme was launched, how the agriculture markets they existed in India. So what happened in different states? There were APMCs, okay, Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee. Okay, so these were the places where actually the farmers they can go and sell their product, and there are buyers also that are present. So you can say APMC in a particular state. There were of course multiple APMC, because you can understand that states are big. Not all farmers they can go from their native place to where the APMC might be, right? So that is why various APMC that exist in states, okay? And there the buyers and sellers they come together, they buy, sell, and all these things happen, okay? Now dekho, there was some constraint to that. For example, even though there are multiple APMC that exist in a particular state, but that does not necessarily mean that it will be closer to all the farmers, right? So the transportation cost the farmer had to bear, right, once they reach the place. Another thing is that only the people who have the shop there they can do the transaction in APMC, right? So for that also fees is required, so farmer has to give that. Now in some cases it was observed, of course you cannot blame all people, but in some cases it was observed that the buyers in APMC they used to make a pact that this is the minimum value we will give to the farmer. Like, so it was like, even if the farmer the government has given various options to the farmer, various buyers exist in the APMC, but still the farmer would get that minimal price only, because all have made this pact, right? Another thing I want to highlight over here, for example, if we talk about Kashmir's apples, right, and there's a season for that. Now the farmers, if they will go and sell that in APMC, of course they are going to get lesser rate for that. Why lesser rate for that? Because it's apples, they are very common, and all the farmers are harvesting apple at the same duration only, right? So there is abundant surplus amount of apples that are present in Kashmir state, so of course they will get lesser price. But if the same farmer would have sold that in southern place, any southern part of India, he would have gotten much better prices. Why? Because of the demand, because there such kind of apples does not exist, right? So wouldn't have it been better if all across nation the farmer can sell the produce? So there was need to have a national agriculture market where the farmer has choice to sell to any buyer. Okay, and in the name itself you must have seen it is ENAM. ENAM, now here, of course, when we are talking about national agriculture market, not every farmer have this money or capacity or even time to move from one place to another. You can't say that, okay, Delhi will be the national market and all people will come here, right? And especially when the produce are perishable. So in that case, what can be done? So the best way is to make it online. So E stands for electronic. So ENAM is your electronic national agriculture market. So a particular portal that has been made. What is the name of the portal? ENAM. Okay. Okay, so enam is an online portal where you can register yourself as a trader, as a buyer, as a seller, all right, and then the bidding will be done of your produce, and you can sell at your desirable rate to anyone across the nation. This is the essence of this, and that is why it says uttam fasal. Uttam means good. Okay, so if your fasal is basically yield, so whatever produce that you have produced, if it is of good quality, so of course you deserve. Uttam means great or good, you can say. Inam means prize. So this particular scheme has been designed to give you the money that you actually deserve for the produce, the quality produce that you have made. Okay, so this is the overall idea of enam scheme. Now there are some of the data points that we have to keep in mind. Okay, so for example, the launch year, and I must tell you, this enam scheme is very important, have been asked multiple times in the examination. The launch year of the scheme is 2016. Government, they came up with this idea concept in 2016, and of course it is easier to remember the ministry because it falls under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, right? We are talking about agriculture over here. However, there is an implementing agency which is Small Farmer Agribusiness Consortium. Okay, in further slide I have mentioned the full form also in case you want to revise afterwards. So what is this SFAC? देखो, ministry at the national level, center level, it will take care that whatever budget funding is required, if the implementation is done properly or not, right? But the scheme has been implemented more for the farmer's sake, right? And here in India we have the around 80-84% we have small and marginal farmers, right? So they might not be aware of this online business of, or this online trading, this online market which the government has come up with, right? And ultimately it is for their benefit. That is why SFAC will help. It will act as an implementing agency. It will aware the small and marginal farmers, and also how they can register themselves and how all this process go, so that they can be part of this particular scheme. Okay, so implementing agency is your SFAC. Now what is the aim of the scheme? So aim is to have a PAN. PAN means presence. Okay, PAN, it has a full form. In various scheme you will find this PAN. Okay, so present across, and it stands for your nations. So presence across nation, by the scheme the government want presence across nation of what? Of marketing of in agriculture. ठीक है, objective क्या है? One nation one market. If there is one nation, the market should be one, and the farmers have liberty to sell and get the best price possible. And of course all these are things have been done to double the farmers income. It had to be done by 2022. However, we do not have any data or report yet. Had we be able to achieve the target, and if not, to how much extent have we achieved the target? Okay, implementing agency, as we have already understood, Small Farmers Agribusiness Consortium is the implementing agency. Now here, as we have understood, a portal will be required, and you can understand in portal there will be a lot of new technology that has to be added, which will help in bidding. The farmer is in a simpler manner will be able to understand that these are the bids that I'm getting for my produce, and this I want to have. So a kind of technology advancement is also required. So that is why for this particular scheme, technology partner, who will be the technology partner? iKisan division. So basically, first of all, we have to understand there's a company which is known as Nagarjun Fertilizer and Chemical Limited. Now it must be having various departments. So of this particular company's iKisan division will act as a technology partner for the ENAM scheme, which is under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And what is the implementing agency? Small Farmer Agribusiness Consortium. Okay, SFAC is the implementing agency. Type of scheme, now here you can understand that currently in APMC there were just shops that were there, right? Now you require computer to operate, right? Because now online things will be done. National agriculture market, now it will be online, right? And and you would require staff also to operate it, right? And there are various mandis, so infrastructure would be like such, right? If you want to have computers and staff, you would require a proper room also. You can't just operate it in the open, right? Because it can be rain, the various weather phenomena that happen, so you require an infrastructure, right? So for that you require money. To implement this national agriculture market, you require some money, and that is why central government will fully responsible for this, and that is why it's a central sector scheme. See, there are two type of schemes: central sponsored, where both center as well as state, they have certain ratio in funding, but when only the central government it gives 100% of funding, we call it central sector scheme. Okay, and this money will be sent through a agency, will be distributed through an agency. And what is the name of that agency? It is Agritech Infrastructure Fund. Okay, so for some people it might be a lot. Let's just quickly revise. Okay, so it falls launched in 2016. Why is it so? To have a national market so that the farmers, they can get the best prices. So it's an online portal, right? And so presence across India chahiye. Apart from that, implementing agency is important. SFAC is the implementing agency, who is a technology partner, iKisan division of Nagarjun Fertilizer and Chemicals Limited. Type of scheme, central government is 100% responsible. Along with that, funding agency is Agriculture Technology Infrastructure Fund. ठीक है, Agri Technology Infrastructure Fund is the funding agency. Eligibility criteria कौन है? ठीक है, अब इसमें क्या करा गया है? देखो, eligibility तो you can simply understand that whoever is engaged in buying and selling in agriculture, they are eligible. Okay, so currently in APMC, as we have understood, which was the offline model, that is why to make it better, some mandatory reforms were said by the government to be done in APMC Act, so that this can be done at the national level. Therefore, you have to understand that currently when any APMC was functioning in a particular state, a farmer is going, a seller is, a buyer is taking it. So there are certain license that belongs to that particular APMC of that particular state. But now when we are talking about nationalization, so of course the licensing should be, there should be reforms in the licensing as well, so that it can be utilized across the nation. Right, so there are, when you are making from a small offline model to an online widespread model, there are some modifications that need to be done. And similar thing was said by the government, that the APMC Act that exists, there should be some mandatory reforms which will help us to achieve this ENAM target. Okay, first of all, single trading license to valid across states, right? As we understood, for different places APMC require different ones, but now there should be a single trading license. Okay, single point of levy of market fees across the state, so only one time fees you should be given. It's not like that if I'm moving outside the state and going for some other produce, so that so in that case I would have to pay again. No, only one time market fee will be given. And because this now online portal that has been added, and it was not part of APMC, that is why this was added as a reform in the APMC Act, that the provisions of e-auction, e-trading means online, these lines were added, which will allow the APMC to act as a network at the national level. Okay, so what has been done, if you look at basically the reforms that have been done, and these were directly asked in your NABARD examination. In your examination, state-wise question, statement-wise question was asked, and there these points were mentioned. That is why I'm saying whatever we are studying, it is very important from examination perspective. So simply APMC Act used to exist, but because now we are shifting towards online mode, that is why some modification was done. First of all, single trading license. Second was only one time market fee, and third was some provisions which were related to e-auction, e-trading, those were added in it. Okay, now some key features, other key features are also there that are related to national agriculture market, or ENAM we can say. For example, we know that it has presence across India, right? But then it is not only available in Hindi or English language. It is actually accessible in 12 languages, so that the farmers, because ultimately the small and marginal farmers, you know, they are more fluent in their own local language, right? So here, that is why these in 12 languages this particular portal will be has been developed. You can read it in 12 languages, whichever in you're comfortable in, so that as a farmer you can also get the best benefit out of it. Okay, so network, whatever APMC mandis, because now they all be connected, right, through this portal. So this network chain will be formed, and currently it's like 193 agriculture and horticulture commodities that have been kept under it. Okay, and then here the stakeholders, ek app bhi banaya gaya hai. What is the name of the app? So it is ENAM, and it is available for all the stakeholders. Now who are the stakeholders? The mandis. APMC in Hindi it's mandi only. Okay, it's Board Farmers Produce Organization, FPO. These are group of farmers who cater, who work for a uh, these are the group of people, they act as a team, you can say, or company. Farmers, trader, these are all the stakeholders. Okay, apart from that, so now if you remember, we understood that Agritech Infrastructure Fund will provide money, and 100% it is sponsored by central government. But how much money will be given, right? So for free software and assistance, जो लगेगा पैसा, हार्डवेयर भी इंक्लूड होगा. हार्डवेयर मीन्स कंप्यूटर यू वुड बी रिक्वायरिंग, राइट, furniture you would be requiring to establish that computer in that particular place, right? So whatever hardware that is required, software that will be installed, for all the things 75 lakh per mandi will be provided by the government. Okay, and it also include quality assessing equipments. For example, I am a buyer, I live in Kerala, and I have to buy something who is the farmer is living in Uttarakhand, right? So how would I know that I am paying for the best quality? Because if I'm paying good price, I want good quality, right? So there are some quality assessing equipments also that would also be provided in the APMCs, which will be used to test the quality of the produce, so that even the buyer from other state has that satisfaction that they are paying for good. Okay, and there in the APMC, soil testing laboratories will also be established. What is the role of these soil testing laboratories? Basically, the farmer, he can go and make his soil check before even going for any crop, so that the farmer know that what nutrients are existing in the soil currently, and if the farmer wants to go for a certain crop, what are the nutrients that are required and how to replenish them. So soil testing is very important even before sowing a crop, because that would define the yield of the crop, because ultimately how the plants will grow because of the nutrients, right? So that is why it's important. So soil testing laboratories will also be established in certain mandis. Okay, and then for this connection only, this platform of platforms, enam platform of platform, was launched in 2011. Apart from that, GPS based mandi locator will also be there, so that the farmers, they have ease to go to the APMCs. Okay, then apart from that, integration of EggMarkNet. So EggMarkNet एक platform है, agriculture market network है. ठीक है, इसमें क्या होता है, the farmers, they don't know what's the best price of their produce, right? So this help them to have the information. This is an information network hai, which will help the people to know that what are the current rates that are going on for their produce. So it will help. So this AgMarkNet has been integrated to enam, so that the farmer, even in online, the farmer knows that what is the right value for his produce. Okay, now what happened during COVID? So these were the reforms that were done, and the key features that were under the scheme. Now what happened during COVID time, because there were the movement was restricted of all the people, right? That is why there some additional modules were added to this particular scheme. What are these three? In first case, what happened, देखो, most of the farmers, they don't have warehouse or storage place. So what they do, they store it at the government warehouses or the storage units. ठीक है, now whenever they had to sell, so they would have to physically go there with the tickets, and then only they would have to, they can actually further send them for the export. Okay, not only export, but yes, and further send them for wherever the buyer it has to be sent. Okay, now what happened in COVID time? So this was restricted. So what was done? Negotiable warehouse receipt e module. So there, in that case, what was done, wherever the product the produce has to be sold, it will be just directly sent from warehouse from the national warehouse only. You just have to provide them an e receipt. Okay, so the farmer would not have to physically go into the place. Okay, second is FPO trading module. So in that case also, they have to upload their produce from the premise location center. Online bidding, मतलब सब कुछ कोविड टाइम में हमने जो we were the aim we already had of having electronic everything, but in COVID some more provisions were added, so the farmer, if selling something, he does not have to be physically present there. They can just do that from their own place. Similarly, if anything has to be sent from the warehouse, the farmer would again do not have to physically present there. They have already kept the produce. They would just online manner, they will provide with e-receipt, and the warehouses, people who are working there, they will just send it from there. Okay, so that is to restrict the movement again. And logistic module be link large logistic to provide choices to the user. ठीक है, तो logistic is basically the transportation that you require to sell. ठीक है, to have a proper linkage of that, so that the farmer can go for the best logistic possible, where the least amount of money will be spent, and the produce will be reached much earlier, so that it does not perish मतलब कि खराब ना हो, deteriorate ना हो. ठीक है, now what will be the benefits? The best benefit will be transparency, right? Online everything is happening. Liberal licensing होगी, मतलब initially the restrictions were there, right? You can sell only there, you can buy only from there, but now it's a liberal licensing that will be done. ठीक है, apart from that, so this is one you have the liberty but also one license for the trader. Okay, so even as a buyer, the first case if you look at, as a buyer also you can sell it anywhere, as a trader also you can do so. Okay, and then restriction of APMC jurisdiction. So here we understood that a little bit, you know, here and there of the corruption was there in APMC, but this will help, the NAM will help to restrict or subdue that as well. Okay, quality testing so that the buyer know what is the actual value of the product, and single point levy market fees instead of giving multiple time fees, only one time that has to pay. Okay, ENAM process flow क्या होता है? First of all एक formal registration होता है. The first time one formal register will be done at the ENAM market. Then after that what will happen, sampling of your produce will be done, and all the qualities, whatever the quality of the product is, everything accordingly will be mentioned in the in your profile, the registration that you have done. ठीक है, then online trading will be done. ठीक है, so quality testing पहले ही हो गया. First quality testing is done, then whatever be you know, according to quality, whatever bidding you are expecting or you are getting, that is done. Okay, so then online trading happens. Now if there was a particular buyer who has bought my whatever produce that I have sold. Okay, after that what will be done, weighing of that will be done. So I said that okay, I have 1 quintal of potatoes with me, and the buyer, and this is the quality, and according to the quality the buyer has said that okay, he is going to pay this much, right? Now it has to be checked, right, that if that is 1 quintal or not. So that is why once the trading is done, before sending it out, okay, one last weighing will be done so that both have clarity, the buyers as well as the seller, and then invoicing means proper bill will be made. Okay, and once bill is made, then after that what is done, payment happens online, and after that the produce is being sent to the buyer. And because government is handling this e-Nam is an online portal, so even the buyer also have that trust that okay, this particular produce which I have paid for through online payment will be given to me. Okay, so there's a security because it's an online platform. So this is enam flow process that is there. Here's a homework in front of you, try to attempt that, and that is all in this particular video. These are the toppers of the last session. Harsha said the right answer, saying the right answer, then Ritika said the right answer, and Babin said the right answer. Ronak, this time I enlarged my webcam. I hope this time it was better. Do let me know. And Babin was the one who has asked me to make a video on this. I hope you liked the session, and that is all in this video. If you want me to cover any scheme, do let me know. I'll definitely make a session on that. And if you want to watch such more videos, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also join our Telegram channel to get the PDF of this and every lecture that we provide here on YouTube. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining the class. If you have any doubt, you can always ask me, and until then we'll meet again with another video. Until then, all the very best for your examination, and thank you.